Right, so in this video, we're going to talk about evaluating compositions, but this time we're going to be evaluating it from a graph. So if we take this over here, and by the way, just adding to our notes, this would actually be topic C and this would be topic D. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you figure out which graph represents which function. So this graph right here, the first one on the left is g of x, and then the second one over here is f of x. Okay, so I'm just making sure I'm paying attention because it's going to matter. So what you are doing is, again, still working on the inner function, but we are going to find on the g graph, so let's take a look at that, where the input is 1. So remember, when x is 1, we get 3. Okay, so there's my 3. So what that means is now I find that 3 becomes the input of f. So now I take the x on the f function and I go up and I am looking for that value, and that value right now is 6. So the proper way to write that is f of g of 1 is equal to 6. Right? So now let's have you try it. Evaluate g of f of 2. Okay, so in this case, when the x is 2 on the f function, your output is going to be 5. So then that's going to give you g of 5 because this number was 5. And so now I go to the g function where x is 5, and my output is 3, so this equals 3. But again, the proper way to write that is g of f of 2 is equal to 3. Now let's take a look at evaluating from equations. So the idea here is very similar. I would just highlight the two different functions in different colors so that way we can kind of keep things a little bit more organized and straight. And I'm wanting you to evaluate f of h of 1. So when we do this, we are supposed to be plugging 1 into the h. So let's find h of 1 first. So h of 1 is going to be everywhere where there is an x, put parentheses, and then go back in and fill it in with the value that you're supposed to evaluate it with. In this case, it's 1. So the h of 1 gives me 5. And then, of course, now you are supposed to take that 5 and evaluate it into the f. So again, everywhere where there is a letter, put parentheses, and then come back and substitute your number. So now you get 25 minus 5, and you get 20. So the proper way to write that again is going to be f of h of 1 is going to equal 20. All right, so you should try it for A and B. And on A, let's take a look. Let's look at f of 2. So f of 2, because remember we're asked to do this, right? So f of 2 is going to give me, again, we want to make sure that we highlight your functions. Make sure you're plugging it into the right function. So f of 2, it's going to be 2 squared minus 2, and that's going to give you 2, which means now you plug that. Sorry, my computer apparently is getting a little slow. H of this 2 into the function 3 times 2 plus 2, and that is going to give you 8. So just to recap then, your function h of f of 2 is equal to 8. All right, so now let's try B. All right, so we are supposed to be evaluating h of f of negative 2. So Let's find f of -2 first. So we've got -2 squared minus -2. Well, that's going to give us 4 plus 2, which is 6. And then I've got to take that 6 and use that as my input for h. So that's going to be 3 times 6 plus 2, and that's going to give me 20. So again, the proper way to write that would be h of f of -2 is equal to 20.